G'day folks, welcome to a nice little Monday afternoon update. Yeah, I've been fairly busy lately, as you can see. I'll be posting a build video on the Wall PC Mark III. I know I don't have the i5 side of it running yet, but it's fully loaded and ready to go. Loaded my fresh new copy of 7 Pro on it and it works quite well. I've just got to get around to setting up all the applications, video software, all that sort of stuff, and take most of the load off the original Wall PC that's running at the moment next to it. Yeah, I'm not sure how much use that old board's going to get, but it's certainly a good backup to keep intact. And I could also, when I get a KVM, be it software or hardware, I'll be able to swap between the two of them on the go and use it maybe for uploading while this one's just doing video editing, or vice versa. Well, not vice versa, I wouldn't bother using that old one for video editing again, but the i5 is going to be the editor. That Core 2 Duo next to it could be the uploader. So that's another way of doing it. Not that I don't think uploading a video to YouTube is really going to labour the i5, but it'd take some hours off the runtime of this board if I can do all the video editing, which it's going to ace, shut that side down overnight and just leave that old one running away. Because I'd rather tax the hell out of a junky old Core 2 Duo board. Well, not that it's that junky, it's a proper ASUS board, but I'd rather tax that one just running it overnight and all day until I get home, like literally 10 hours straight, and have that one sitting dormant until I need it. Like whenever I'm not out here, that one goes offline, that one stays online putting video up. So it's going to be one of those things. It's nice having two in the one case. I'm also going to work on a little charging station here that I can shove my phone in the front of it and use the micro USB. At the moment it just sort of sits in there and the metal scratches the phone casing, so I need a plastic sleeve to put in there, which is easy enough to make up. And I've mounted the card reader in there as well, where I think the top of the tape drive would normally go. So that's nicely locked in. It should work quite well. I just got to make the clear acrylic front. I bought a sheet of acrylic a while ago. It was about $50 for a fairly large sheet of 3mm clear acrylic. So that'll go well, and I'll post a video of actually building this, or at least most of it, on my channel very soon. It might be one of the first videos I encode with this i3 system, or i5 system that Alex donated. Bit of a ripper. Anyway, that's about all for that. Julian picked up a free plasma off a friend or somebody, and it's got a blown Y sustain. This fuse down here is completely blown, and apparently it's a pretty common failure mode. So he's after one of these. I don't have one in stock. It's a Connia branded LG chassis. Fairly generic, but yet another standard definition LG that I don't have parts for. It seems even though they were standard definition plasmas, they kept changing them through one revision and another, obviously probably weeding out problems, heat build up, and probably improving power efficiency. Even though it looks like a standard old plasma, they all seem to run different boards from one model to another. So they never really stuck with anything standard or interchangeable, and that's a bit of a pain because it means you have to stock a lot of boards if you want to be able to help people out with older televisions. So yeah, if anyone in Australia has one of these boards, it's I'll put the actual part number on there, but it's a bit hard to see on that, but I'll put the proper part numbers on the video description. If it's the same as that and you're in Australia and you want to make a few quick bucks, or you want to donate it even, let me know and I'll work something out. Right now there are some online for about $50, but the shipping from the UK or the US is going to be almost as much, so it kind of ruins the deal. I'd rather pay $10 on shipping from somewhere in Melbourne and get it quickly and easily, as long as you know it works. Like, that's the main thing. The other issue is I don't know if the Y buffers that connect along the top here, I don't know if the Y buffers are going to be alright or not. Some say replace the sustain with the buffers all as one. So that's another thing maybe some of my plasma gurus who watch this channel could let me know on, because there are certain failure modes where a bad buffer chip will take out the sustain board. So I don't want to put a good sustain in there and have it go pop straight away because there's a short buffer chip. It's just one of those things. It's just the fun of working on plasmas. you get a bit of a snowball effect going on sometimes, and even though in this case the fuse blew and protected the power supply, there's a possibility that something like one of the Y buffers might have blown and taken out the sustain board. Like there might not be any protection for that. So yeah, it's just, yeah, plasmas. They're alright, they do their job. They look good. Particularly the HD ones. HD plasmas for sports and fast action just seem to look better than LCD. At least the, maybe not the high-end LED LCD like my Sharp, but some of the cheaper LCDs like a Samsung LCD of the same era compared with a Samsung Plasma. Personally, I think the Plasma wins. They do have a good picture, but they're just more problematic and probably have a more finite running life, like less hours than an LCD, even though their LCDs seem to have a lot of problems too. Don't worry, don't get me started on Samsung LCDs and their panel issues. Yeah, so things still getting rearranged. The PLC I never got around to doing anything with. I'm going to have to put that back on the wall and do something with it soon. Everything else seems to be going pretty well. Another security monitor set up, but I did a video on these ages ago. I just put this one on the shelf for a while, but I'll get that powered up to 12 volts and stuff another video camera signal into it. Not much going on at the scrapyard. It's a muddy mess and they don't like keeping stuff on the ground anymore, so it all goes straight in the bin, which is a pain because you can't really salvage and repair anything now. But it doesn't matter. They're having to do a bit of a clean up there, and everything's good and peachy. At least the owner's a bit happier now, I think. I never posted a video of what the owner's girlfriend tried on me before, but she was trying to discredit me something fierce once she worked out I was making bucks on my videos and using stuff like this as props. Oh boy, they didn't like me. Well, the owner was fine. He doesn't hold a grudge against anyone. He actually supported me. But her and her dad, well, talk about vicious. They came up with all kinds of stories trying to get rid of me. But yeah, the owner basically just said the guy's schizophrenia was acting up and he didn't know what he was doing was wrong, or no, he was doing what he thought was right for the company, and that was that. And then he fired up again after I made a comment about things going to shit. Well, actually no, he decided that my comment about things going to shit was going to be about the financial side of the company rather than the moral side, when really I was just taking a shot at him from the start. I hope he sees this video, because yes, they do. I don't think they'd watch it anymore, but honestly, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I'm done with that. But yeah, I found out the other day that they've been separated, or the girlfriend and the owner had been separated for the last 6 months anyway. But yeah, quite a few people have copped a raw deal from her, including the guy owner, or I guess you call him the scales man, of 14 years. One of the first things she tried to do when trying to get rid of me was put up a rules chart in the office saying only staff should deal with Ed. Basically that's like saying, even though you've been here for 14 years, you're not staff. Because I know exactly that they meant Ash shouldn't deal with me. Yeah, just dirty, little backstabby things. It wasn't even outright. She hasn't said a word to me in 2 years or so. It was always through her dad, or through the owner, but the owner never really bought into it that much. They could get him wound up at times, but at the end of it all, I think he saw through it. He's a pretty decent bloke, and that's sort of why I've been holding back on telling the whole story, which I still haven't. I've only told 1/10 of the story. There'll be more installments later on. But yeah, that's sort of one of the reasons why I've stayed away from the scrapyard a little bit. I'll still go down there when I can, but they're changing business mode anyway, and just getting stuff out. Like, it used to get pretty well built up there, and I can understand why he wouldn't want to have massive piles of scrap building up, because it's not good for business. You're better off selling it. But it does mean you can't make more money on the side by selling things like that for $5 each. Instead, you throw it in the bin and you get maybe 15 cents. So, yeah, what do you do? You can keep everything and try and sell it, but then you run out of room. I know what it's like. You can hang on to stuff for ages and in the hope of doing something with it, but at the end of the day you end up with too much and you just got to cull it off and throw it in the bin. That place was the same. They had a soft serve machine that I was prepared to offer them $30 or so for as an autopsy, and they kept saying, oh no, we'll sell it, we'll put it on eBay, it's worth a lot of money. And I found out the other day that they'd just cut the condensing coil out of the back of it as it was, ripped the condensing coil out of it and thrown it straight in the steel bin. So, it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, weird things happen. I've got plenty of other suppliers like the Dump and all that sort of thing. There's a supplier further down the peninsula, there's a couple up in town. Grays Online is actually quite helpful, as I've found out, buying ATMs and things like that. I'm not sure if I want to buy more of them, but if I can convert them into arcade machines, that'll be great. I need to do a full in-depth video on converting the arcade machine, or I mean the ATM to an arcade machine. And yeah, that's basically how it's going. Sorry for the long ramble, but I haven't done any real detailed rambles about what goes on at the, or what went on at the scrapyard. But basically, let's just say the less you tell them, the better. I think Alex has found that out recently with one of his too. The more he told them, the more snaky they got. They don't like it when you buy stuff as junk and then try and make money on it. Or at least my yard didn't mind, but the owner's girlfriend really got her nose in a bend about it. Especially when I put stuff aside to take home, and she'd claim it as hers, and then I'd bloody take it as well. So yeah, that kind of pissed her off. But hey, fair's fair. I put it aside. I'm going to take it home after I've consulted with the owner. Whether he knows about it or not, or knows about the plans for it, who knows. I don't give a shit. But yeah, they've split up now, so it's all for the better. Thanks for watching.